Great. Okay, let's start. Hello to the Tuesday meeting, 29th of October. Today we have the agenda to go over the action items from last week. As usual, we will get an update from the Runtime platform working group, talk about any other business, and review our PS issues. So actions from last week. We had one action item to generate RFC number for the RFC we merged. I did this. Okay, then we can proceed with the update. Amelia, thank you for adding the filling the content already.
Sure. Probably none of this will be a surprise, since I'm sure you all diligently took notes during my talk at CF Day. The one that didn't get referenced at CF Day, because it hadn't happened yet, is a memory leak that just happened in Route Registrar, or that was just noticed. So make sure your route registrars, your routing releases are 315 and above. Since SAP found it, I assume your systems are all fine. Let's see, the most active RFCs are our generic per route features. They're currently in progress, doing work in the ARP area. I'm sure there will be work in the CAPI area soon. And the support for file-based service binding information, the Diego work is done on a branch and just waiting for that CAPI work to be done so that we can test it all the way through. I don't want to commit any breaking changes. I want to be able to test the whole thing before we merge it. What we're currently working on is Cgroups V2 in Garden to get ready for Noble Numbat. Amelia has been working diligently on that. And some soon work that actually started yesterday, so I guess it's current work now. But I wrote these notes more than 2 days ago. Is allowing an operator to provide a list of non-contiguous CIDRs for the overlay network. So right now you just have to provide one CIDR for the entire overlay network. And maybe you want to provide like 3 smaller CIDRs for it or something. So that's what's currently in progress. Any questions?
No Golang topics.
We already bumped. We'll wait until February for the next one.
Yeah.
But we can also talk about the top of any other business, since this is relating to my working group. Decide what to do with CloudFoundry Incubator. Apparently we archived it 2 years ago. I'm curious who put this on the list. Oh, over 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Who added this to any other business, and who's using this that's mad that we archived it?
I don't know. I was also wondering. It's not.
Oh, okay. It has not been touched in 6 years. I mean, this API hasn't really changed, so maybe that's fine. Except that like the networking policy stuff used to be in its own. Oh, I guess that wouldn't matter. The API has stayed the same. It used to have like a plugin for the CF CLI, but now it's in the default CLI. But I guess if this is using the API directly, that doesn't matter. Anyway, if anyone finds who cares about this, I'm happy to discuss it and care about it. But until then, I'm going to leave this archived.
Someone needs to join the call because of the different time. Let's see. We will find out. Okay, there are no questions. Then we can proceed with the dashboard. I think I have it open today. For the first one, I generated the RFC number with the script we have to generate the number, but I noticed afterwards that the number is wrong again, like we had PR last week to correct the number. So it turned out that if the merge PR is not the latest one on the main branch, then the generation is wrong, because in that case you have to provide this environment variable if it's not the latest commit on the main branch, so that you provide the commit SHA over that environment variable. So I decided to make this one required argument for that script. If you don't provide it, you get an error message that you need to provide it with explanation. And modified here the README, which describes how to generate a number. If you think this makes sense, I think this makes it less error prone, because you have to think always, is it the latest one on the main branch or no? And so we had already 2 issues in that direction.
Thanks for doing this, Beyhan.
Okay, I have already the approvals. I don't need to argument. Thank you for the link. Okay, now on the RFC side, I looked into the RFC about binding secrets. There are still many open discussions. Like here, here. I think we may have to wait here on this one until we proceed. I don't think we can help somehow at the moment. It looks like usual discussions are happening. The other one regarding both templating, I think we got some use cases which.
Oh, I added more. Those were the ones I thought off the top of my head, and then I brought links with the next comment.
Yeah, but yeah, we are still collecting use cases. Let's see.
Yeah, behind the scenes, we also reached out to Dimitri to talk about or Joseph did, to talk about how their experience with Starlark in YTT.
What we discussed during the our foundation infrastructure group. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have also some fixes here. So I noticed when I merged that RFC about org manager, extending the permissions of org managers to be able to onboard new users, that it is placed in a folder inside the RFC directory we have. So because I saw the number is wrong, I wanted to correct the number, and then I couldn't find the RFC, and then noticed that there is a folder inside our RFC folder. I don't think we need that one. That's why this is removing the folder, moving the RFCs, so that we have a flat directory. Or Stephan, you placed that one in that folder. Did you want to have the folder?
It's muted. Okay. Yep. I don't need the folder, and it was the only use case. We can remove it, but in the README, it is explicitly mentioned if an RFC is something is only relevant for one working group, then they should be in this subfolder. So if we want to change it, we maybe should adapt the RFC, this README in the RFC folder as well.
Okay, this was your intention.
Yeah, I put it there because this one is only relevant for this one working group. There are no changes in other working groups required, so that's why. But it doesn't matter if the tooling, I mean, is easier when we don't have this, and having everything in one folder has also its value. So I would not insist, and I'm fine with this. Just the README needs to be adapted.
Okay, then I will take an action item. Just the README. I didn't know about this and how I didn't notice this. Okay. Okay, and the next one, the next one is about updates to the RFC about file-based service bindings. So the implementation is currently happening in Cloud Controller side, and also the new RFC about bindable secrets. We had some discussions there, and that's why some changes were proposed to this one. Like this one came from the bindable secrets to not leak CloudFoundry concepts into the BBS domain model, or making things more readable. Yeah. But I think more important is the behavior here, like when we have name collisions, which is currently possible, currently with environment-based service bindings, you can define a service like foo and create a binding with a name bar, and then create a service instance with name bar, and then create a binding without providing a service binding name. And this will be all fine with the current implementation of Cloud Controller. But with the file-based approach, we will have collision on the file name because the bindings will end up with the same name, which is defined in the folder where the binding information is stored. And in the discussions, the decision was, the proposal was to have a collision here in this use case. That means this will be a backward
incompatible. You got it.
Incompatible change when people are opting into this feature.
Yeah, but it's I would say a very strange use case. So I think this is all fine. I added a link to a issue that Philip, who works on the implementation, he specified the current mapping in all the details from VCAP services to the bindings, and it mentions also these collisions. And
yeah, I was looking through the specification or explanation, and this one was a little bit interesting because the result is the example 2 we have here. So when you have a service binding name foo, and in credentials you have a credential with the name attribute name, So it ends up with overriding that attribute.
Yeah, we discussed about this one and thought that the static metadata, like the service binding name, etc., should have preference or precedence should be taken, because otherwise you could override information for locating the service. So the name of the service binding name is more important to find something than the credentials in that, because otherwise you have the right credentials, but you don't even find your service binding anymore because the name was overwritten. In VCAP services, you have the separation between metadata and the real credentials, and you don't have that in this new world. So we have to make compromises. And again, I don't think so much it is so important which compromise we take. It is more important that we document what we take. And you will find people who are happy with this one. And yeah.
Yeah.
But let's say here in the room, we were we agreed on this, give metadata higher priorities than the credentials.
I think with overriding is, I'm not sure whether it is in the RFC. I don't think so. I have to maybe provide another update or.
I'm also not sure if the RFC really needs to describe every implementation detail. I mean, that's why we have these additional tickets. In other RFCs, you just have a rough idea what you want to achieve, and everything else, like think of the Noble introduction of Noble, you don't write down which library you want to update to which version. That's fine. I mean, the concept must be clear, and basic ideas and such decisions that we really strictly stick to Kubernetes naming. That makes sense if the API is involved, but all the details, I would say, the RFC is good enough.
Okay. Okay, I have already approvals.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's say, as long as we agree with the Diego team, if we here start fighting, then okay, then we probably need to work on the RFC again. That's fine, but this didn't happen.
Okay, then we can go on the issues. So we have here now a new issue about registering the Terraform provider for Sonar Cloud. This is something similar like we did for the Terraform registry, provider registry. So basically we need to log into this Sonar.
Okay, yeah. I can take care of this and try to reach out to.
Okay, great. I can. Was it? Okay. Okay, this is then fine. I think on the others there was nothing going on. We can proceed then with any other business. So we already talked about the first point. We don't know who brought this
If anyone finds out, reach out to me.
Yeah. So I got people were a little bit irritated by the link in our TOC Slack channel to the meeting notes, which didn't work. It was pointing to the old one. Updated that one. Yeah, if you notice somewhere else. Stephan, you were looking for permissions be able to edit the meeting notes?
Yes, I can only comment. And then if I add bigger sections, it looks very awkward. And usually the formatting is then broken, and would be good if the whole TOC would have edit rights on this document.
Just you. Everyone else.
Okay. It's okay. I know I take it personal.
Or at least I have
noticed.
it. I don't know.
I checked, but I am not able to manage the permissions. Maybe Chris or Ram, I don't know.
I should be able to do that. Hold on just a second.
Stephan should already be added there, but only at this SAP email address.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Stephan.marker at SAP.
Yeah, I'm usually in with my private Google thingy. Okay, that means I should somehow.
I think
you should be able to add yourself if you're logged in via sap.com, but also if you send me that email, I can do that right now.
Yeah, I do it.
So it wasn't personal.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Okay, we clarified this one. There was a discussion in our Slack channel about GitHub Actions quota, some working groups or sub-areas. They have issues from time to time. I don't know. They propose or ask whether there are any plans to switch our GitHub license level.
Now that we've purged, like, I think a majority of the people in the GitHub organization, I think we can revisit this conversation now because the costs for upgrading would be much cheaper. I can also reach out to the LF and see if there's any kind of new deals that we have with them. But yeah, I can certainly explore upgrading to enterprise now that we have, only 200 something users, not
almost 270.
Yeah, but it was like 600 before, so
Yeah.
that's when it would have been prohibitively expensive. But I think this might be maybe something we can afford at this point.
Only half prohibitively expensive.
Exactly. Yeah, let me look into this in the next week or two, and let's see what that would look like. I don't know exactly, because we're on. It's not. I need to have a meeting with GitHub to find out exactly what the differences are, because we're on this legacy platinum plan.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily say exactly like what is included in that. It's not very clear to me what we have as far as GitHub Actions right now.
I know my team or my working group has looked into adding some GitHub Actions. But just looking at these numbers, like if we're already as an org running into this, I feel like even just tripling isn't gonna be enough if more teams are looking into GitHub Actions. Like just deploying our own runner might be worth it. Good to know.
Yeah, I guess if we have an estimation as to like what we're using now and what we'd like to be using, that would maybe help me when I check with them on these things. Like, what are the limitations we're running into right now? Do we have a sense of what we get and what we'd like to be able to use?
Yeah, I don't know. All I see is, what's in this? I'm looking at this chat. Oh my God, that's from 2022. That was linked to. Wow, this is an old chat.
Do we have somewhere dashboards which show how many actions running in our organization, some statistics. I didn't look into that from GitHub site.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at the chat from 2022, and they said they're limited across the org to a maximum of 20 concurrent jobs. So I wonder if there's just a steady 20 constantly.
Someone willing to try to get data around this?
Oh, the most minutes were actually spent by Peri Bolos.
Wait, can you share whatever link you have?
I mean, I was just clicking around. It's in here.
Yeah, I guess this one runs constantly, right? As soon as it has finished after 6 hours, it just starts again.
And then we have the branch protector, sync project.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
us. We're the
It's us.
problem.
Yeah.
Zoom projects.
Yeah, the top 4 are community repos.
Should we be running our own worker?
I mean, for the org management, I guess I could review the schedule because it runs too often and jobs are failing pretty often because they are just, they are running longer than the scheduled.
Yeah.
That could already help a bit, not much, but a bit.
Okay, well, this is
Okay.
helpful. I can go to them with this and see what the
Yep.
enterprise shift would look like and what it would cost, and then we can check it out.
Okay. I already noticed this down as action item.
Cool.
The next one is about the recordings of the working group meetings. I noticed that we don't have since 1 or 2 months in YouTube the recordings.
Yes, that's on me, Beyhan. I'm fixing that. I had uploaded some that had errors and I had not uploaded a few recordings. So I'm just a bit behind on that. I'll fix it before the end of the week.
Okay, so it's a known issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then the last one is about, I was looking that the CMB integration in CF is already reaching the final line, so to say. The documentation has been merged with the first version. Does it make sense to have a block around this from the foundation?
I think so. Yeah.
When we have the documentation, it will explain what is the use case or how to use it and so on. Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't there, I think it's not yet available in the command line interface in the CLI. That's maybe another point, which would help a lot in the in the block.
You can use with the manifest. You don't need the latest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But Jan was mentioning. I was talking to Jan. They were working on backporting this functionality to version 8 because it is only available on the latest master, which is version 9 of the CLI. They were looking into backporting this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, if everyone is fine, then I can bring this up again when we have all finished documentation, still work in progress. Having the CLI also version 8 supporting this. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, is there anything else you want to discuss?
On the topic of doing some promotions around upcoming features, there's that Terraform stuff that was open sourced by the SAP team a little while ago. What's the best path forward to getting some information about that? And is there any way that particular donation can be demonstrated on this call or an independent call? And then we can write about it and document it in detail after we get a demo.
So the colleagues working on this, I think we'll be happy to help here if you want to write something or they can help. Was this the question, or at the end I was a little bit breaking on my side?
Oh no, I was just saying what would be a good way to get more information about that and then, decide to write about it or maybe even publish a video or something.
So on SAP side, we had already, I think, on our community page, a blog post about this.
Okay, then I'll follow up with you on Slack and see if we can get the group together. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our GitHub Actions usage is pretty high. Like it's above the highest paid plan that's listed currently. So just an FYI.
Okay.
So maybe changing to a paid plan might be bad. Would hurt our actions.
Yeah, I mean, there are, I remember I've had various conversations with GitHub about upgrading at various times, and the plan we're on, this legacy platinum plan, which is free, basically, like is better than some of the plans.
Yeah,
Switch.
because if I'm using the pricing calculator, and I would end up with like just for the GitHub Actions around $1,800 US dollar a month for our current usage.
Like in addition to the plan that we would have to pay for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some free usage in the plan, so that.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah. Yeah. So I found this calculator. And here are the included minutes per plan. At the highest plan, the GitHub Enterprise Cloud, you get 50,000 minutes per month. So that might cover our.
No, we're at 170,000 minutes.
No, but that, like if you look at last month, last month is 200,000 minutes.
Oh, I see. Current month. Last month.
Okay.
Oh yeah, even more is what you're saying.
Yes. That's those community member people, like they are like excessive users. Automating their org.
Trying to hold people from working. Yeah. Okay. So if we don't have anything else, so then we are done for today.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day, the morning.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.